Hey, you all. I wanted to jump on really quick because I feel like I keep having this same conversation with parents over and over and over. And it is girls who were in their early, really foundational stages during COVID. And I think part of what's happening is out of that experience with COVID, there has been a real need for control in these kids, these young kids. And I think in this day and time anyway, for a lot of kids, in the absence of other coping strategies, control becomes their primary coping strategy. For us as grown-ups, sometimes control becomes our primary coping strategy. And so if you have a daughter or a son who has been really inflexible, who gets really upset at transitions, unpredictability, and you're seeing a lot of big emotions, sometimes more explosive types of emotions, I want you to focus on three things. Number one, in Braver, Stronger, Smarter, my book for elementary age girls, I call it the worry monster. With these kids, a lot of times I'll call it the control monster. And it basically means, the way we could describe it is, if your little brother comes in and messes up your room, you feel like you're not going to be okay. If the day's not what you thought it was going to be, you feel like you're not going to be okay. We're seeing more anxiety show up with OCD symptoms than ever before in our offices. And so if I can't touch this or do this or check the lock or do the bedtime routine a certain way, I'm not going to be okay. And for these kids, really, they need to be practicing flexibility, because what they start to do is trust the things they're doing to stay in control more than they trust themselves. And so three things. One, call it the control monster. I can tell the control monster's bothering you. What kind of rules is he creating? Because the more you listen to his rules, the more you're going to feel like you have to obey him. But the more we break the rules, the more you're going to feel free. So call it the control monster. Talk about ideas like that. Number two, we want to practice what's called exposure therapy or response prevention. So the things they're afraid of, a ladder with the scariest thing at the top, and we work our way gradually towards that. Or the things that they're doing to make themselves feel better, we do them a little bit less, or we pause before we let ourselves do them. And anytime they do those things, number three, they get a brave bead or a brave pom-pom or some type of brave marble. They have a jar in their room and they're watching them accrue, but every time they do something hard, they get some type of token as a reward. And I really have gotten to where, kids will say, I don't want to breathe right now, when we suggest that they do some deep breathing. And so rewarding even little bitty steps of positive coping strategies can be a game changer. Okay, you guys, you got this. Cheering you on. Let's help these little COVID control kiddos.